I want to first align myself with so many excellent amendments that are designed to stop the harm that will come from these devastating cuts to Medicaid and SNAP. I met with hospital leaders, the Hospital Association, the leaders of the community health clinics. The word that they agreed was applicable is catastrophic. 97% of Oregonians have insurance, and that is because we have been very innovative and forward with Medicaid expansion, and 1 in 3 Oregonians, including many children, get their health care through Medicaid. But I want to talk about a couple of other issues that are in this big bad bill that are not getting as much attention. The first is my amendment number 348 about student loans. This bill is a sweeping, calculated assault on American families, on students, and on institutes of higher education that give people the opportunity to be educated. This bill attacks higher education, making it even more expensive for students and their families. It eliminates PLUS loans. It modifies repayment plans to remove some of the lowest cost options for borrowers. Monthly student loan payments will increase dramatically. So my amendment, number 348, provides a necessary protection for existing student loan borrowers who are shortchanged under this terrible bill. These borrowers made important life-changing decisions based on the loan programs and repayment plans that were available to them at the time. They should not have to have unfavorable loan terms forced on them just to pay for Republican tax cuts for billionaires. So if left unchanged, this bill will set more borrowers up to fail. As written, it will dramatically increase the number of borrowers who will default. None of us want that. It's not good for borrowers, it's not good for the economy, and it's not good for the country. So I urge my colleagues to support this common sense amendment to honor the promise that's made to student loan borrowers and allow them to remain in their current plans. My second amendment I'd like to speak in favor of is number 436, and this strips the so-called institutional accountability provisions. The damage doesn't stop with student borrowers. It slams doors of opportunity shut for those who need it most. So in addition to making colleges and universities less affordable, this bill targets specific programs of study based on ignorant and arbitrary low-earning outcomes. Although the Senate's accountability proposal is unquestionably better for schools than the House's so-called risk-sharing plan, I'm glad that's out, the Senate's bill would discriminate against programs that lead to careers in valuable but perhaps low-paying fields, especially in public service and the arts. What if a student wants to join the Peace Corps or become an early childhood educator? These are fields with low salaries, but that doesn't mean the work isn't valuable or that the students didn't benefit from their education. An analysis from the Urban Institute found that programs in human development, health and medical, administrative services, human services, and teacher education, they will all see the greatest losses. Madam Chair, people should not be punished for choosing service over salary. My amendment would strike this harmful provision so colleges and universities will not be penalized for the career paths their graduates choose to pursue. If my colleagues are truly interested in accountability for higher education, they can support gainful employment and the 90-10 rule. So I urge my colleagues to support this amendment and end the assault on these valuable educational programs that make our country stronger, more innovative, and more competitive. The next two amendments are related. One is from Ranking Member Scott and the other is mine, because this bill doesn't just fail students, it fails children and families. So Mr. Scott's Amendment 279 and my Amendment 388 stop American children from going hungry. Federal nutrition programs, including WIC, SNAP, school meals, and more, are investments in the health, learning, and development of children and young adults across the country. There's no excuse for slashing lifelines to children in need. Every congressional district is home to people facing hunger. Now is not the time to be making everyday life harder for American families and taking away vital nutrition support. These amendments are pro-family, pro-children, pro-mom, unlike the rest of the big, bad, ugly bill. Finally, I'm supporting 3 amendments from that I'm working on and co-sponsoring with Representative Magaziner, having to do with NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I serve on the Science, Space, and Technology Committee, and I know how important NOAA is. But this bill sabotages safety and puts Americans directly in harm's way. So these amendments will strike provisions that gut NOAA and kneecap our ability to forecast weather, protect coastal communities, and maintain the very sanctuaries that sustain our fisheries, economy, and way of life. Rescinding funds for NOAA's permitting and reviews will delay overdue projects that are designed to blunt the worst extreme weather events and harm coastal economies. And stripping support for community resilience will leave families defenseless against rising seas and billion-dollar disasters. Cutting research means we'll fly blind into, into the next hurricane, heat wave, or harmful algal bloom event. This bill is like cutting off the fire hose during a 5-alarm fire. In summary, I didn't think this bill could get worse, but it did. It's regressive and reckless and strips healthcare, food assistance from millions. It's legislative malpractice, and history will remember those who stood up for those in need and those who voted to burn it all down. I yield back.